Assalamu alaikum everyone. In this video we will be discussing LALR1 parser, which is a type of a bottom-up parser used in syntax analysis phase of code compilation. Before we discuss the topic in detail, we need to know about these facts regarding the LALR1 parser. The LA in LALR stands for look ahead, which will be discussed later in this video. The main purpose for creating a LALR1 parser is to minimize the total number of states that are present in a CLR1 parser. This reduces the complexity of a CLR1 parser, and this also leads us to the fact that CLR1 parser has more states as compared to LALR1 parser. As I mentioned earlier that the whole purpose of creating a LALR1 parser is to reduce the complexity of a CLR1 parser. So without a CLR1 parser, we can't implement LALR1 parser. We need the transition diagram and the parse table of a CLR1 parser to successfully implement LALR1 parser. LALR1 and CLR1 uses LR1 items. LR1 item is basically a combination of a LR0 item along with its look ahead. If you consider this example, in this production, this is the LR0 item and this is the look ahead for that item. In CLR1 and LALR1 we use LR1 items because we want to apply reduction only on relevant columns of the parse table rather than the whole row. If you consider an example of an LR0 parse table, as you can see, if we apply the reduction R1 on any production of a state, the reduction is applied to every single column of that state. But if you take an look on LALR1 parse table, you can see the reduction is applied only to the columns which are present in the look ahead, for example C or D. Now we know what is the purpose of LALR1 parser and how it is different from other bottom-up parsers. We will try to follow these steps on a grammar to build and understand this parser. The first step was augmenting grammar. So we will use this grammar to implement and understand LALR1 parser. Now if you take a look at the augmented grammar, you will understand that the first symbol always has a dollar as a look ahead. In the second production, we placed dollar as a look ahead because the E in the first production is not followed by any non-terminal. Because there is no non-terminal after the E symbol, we had to place dollar sign as a look ahead in the second production. Now if you take a look at the third production of the grammar, you will see that the look ahead here is C or D. That is because the first non-terminal B is being followed by another non-terminal which is also B. In such a case, we will take the first of the second non-terminal which is B in this case, and the first is C or D as the look ahead of the production. That is why the third production has C or D as its look ahead. Next step is to construct the CLR1 transition diagram. We are not going to discuss the process for constructing a CLR1 transition diagram in this video. You can see our other video on CLR1 parser to understand how we constructed this diagram. We will be using this diagram for LALR1 parser. Same is the case with the parse table of a CLR1 parser constructed from its transition diagram. Now back to our main topic. We have to follow the following steps to convert our CLR1 parser to a LALR1 parser. We will first identify the states having same productions but different look aheads in our CLR1 transition diagram. After that, we will update our parse table based on the information we extracted in the first step from our transition diagram. We will remove the duplicate states from our updated parse table, and we will also merge the data present in duplicate rows into a single row if there are any differences between them. And finally, we will update our transition diagram according to the new states that are in the parse table. Now we are going to implement the first step from the steps mentioned earlier. Now if we take a look at our CLR1 transition diagram, we notice that the state I3 and I6 have the same productions. For example, if you consider this LR0 item here and here, you will notice that both productions are same in both states, but the only difference between them is the look aheads. For example, the look aheads in this state are C or D, and in this state is a dollar sign. So we will note this information for future use. Now take a look at state I4 and I7. Same situation is present here. The look ahead here is C or D, whereas the look ahead here is dollar sign, but the production is same. We will also note these states for future use. Now state I8 and I9 has also the same issue. For example, the production is same, but the look ahead is different in both states. So we will also note these states for our future use. After identifying states, we will update our parse table based on the information we gathered in the previous step. As you can see here, we merged the states 3 and 6 into a single state. We did the same with 4, 7 and 8, 9. Anywhere in the table where they were individually present are now represented in a merged form. For example, S3 is merged into S3, 6, 4 was merged into 4, 7 and so on. We have labeled them from red color for understanding purposes. Now after doing all of this, the first thing we noticed is that this row was exactly identical to this row. Now we will remove one of them to avoid duplication from our parse table. The second thing we noticed is that now this is after we have changed or merged the row. Ignore this for now. We had this row and we had another row with the same state but with only a single reduction. What we did is that we merged this row with the first row and we got a row with 3 reductions. Now we don't need the second row anymore because the data is already present in this row. So we will also remove this from our parse table. We did the same with the 8, 9 states here. Now after applying the changes on our parse table, this is our finalized parse table. Note that the total number of states here are 7. We reduced the unnecessary rows from our parse table. This parse table is less complex as compared to CLR1 parse table. So this is our LALR1 parse table. Now after making the parse table, next step and the final step would be to draw the transition diagram based on the information we gathered in the parse table and the CLR1 transition diagram. As you can note that these states had the same productions. So what we did in this LR1 transition diagram is that we merged those states into a single state and we also merged their look aheads. For example, the production is still same like the CLR1 transition diagram, but the only difference is that we merge the Luca heads into a single production. This helped us to eliminate states 6, 7 and 9 from our CLR1 transition diagram. This diagram is less complex as compared to the CLR1 transition diagram. Now to conclude the whole lecture, what we learned from LALR1 power table and transition diagram is that LALR1 has less states as compared to CLR1, and LALR1 is less complex as compared to CLR1 parser. I hope this video was helpful. Till next time, take care.